अ, हेलो हेलो मेरी आवाज आ रही है? हेलो।
Good afternoon, Subhashish. Loud and clear.
यस मैम गुड आफ्टरनून. Hello everyone, good afternoon. First of all, happy International Prosthetic Orthotics Day to you and especially and all the P&O professionals. This year we are celebrating third International Prosthetic Orthotics Day, which gives us immense pleasure and satisfaction that our hard work and dedication is appreciated to bring locomotor disabled person to become independent. So he or she can live a healthy life in society with dignity. So next, I, Subhasis Paikrai, working as a consultant prosthetist orthotist at Composite Rehabilitation Center in Manipur, Imphal, which is under the administrative control of the SB Nettar, Cuttack, Odisha, under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India, welcomes you all for this online RCA approved CRE program. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. P.P. Mahathi sir, director of the SVNITAR, who is always motivating and supporting us to conduct various types of programs for rehabilitation of PWD. And also, I thanks to Mr. Sanjeev Sethi sir, our nodal officer of the CRC, for their support and guidance for every event of the CRC. Then, as you know, 5th November, as you know, 5th November is observed as International Prosthetic Orthotics Day. This day is celebrated to raise awareness about the importance of the prosthesis and orthosis devices for users to live a happy life with dignity and highlighted the hard work of prosthetic orthotic professionals to bring a disabled person to a able person so he can be a part of the nation building in a very constructive way. So to create a awareness about the P&O professional, International Society of Prosthetic Orthotics celebrated this day as a major celebration of success for the P&O professional. It motivates to us many P&O professionals to work dedicatedly to serve the Divyangjan patient. So now I am requesting my director, sir, Mr. N. Khoivi Singh, sir, to give us a welcome speech to all the participants and our chief guest. Just wait some minutes, director. Wait some second. Director sir is joining. Enabling and empowerment. सर बैठिए 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 सर सर आप लगाइए enabling and empowerment.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to this program. It is the International Day for Prosthetic and Orthotic. There will be a speech by our professional, Subhasis Paikre, who is a prosthetic and orthotics professional. We will be talking about the importance of this PNO in the present scenario. Today I got to know that this is the third time that the day for prosthetic and orthotics has been observed in India, and it's a good thing because we need such professional to look after persons with disability. As we know that many of the persons with disability have locomotor disability, and locomotor disability can be assessed and managed properly with the help of PNO. And our resource person for today is Dr. Swagatika Mishra. I welcome Madam for taking time out to give us a good overview about prosthetic and orthotics. Thank you, Madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
We welcome you, and I hope we'll have a very successful and a very informative session today. So I welcome everyone, and without much time, we'll start with the program. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Sir.
Yeah.
Let's start. Thank you so much, Director Sir, for initiating the webinar. So going to forward to our speaker of the day, Dr. Swagatika Misra ma'am. She has completed her graduation at Bachelor of Prosthetic Orthotics from JUVENILE and post-graduation from the Indian Spinal Injury Institution Center, Delhi. She has about 20 years of experience in the prosthetic orthotic field. She belongs to the first batch of the Master of Prosthetic Orthotics. She is currently working as a professor and joint director of international collaboration of MGMIHS, which is situated in Navi Mumbai. And she is the first female in India and the Gulf Cooperation Council to bag the PhD award in the environmental science with the prosthetic major. And she has received many awards like Young Scientist Award and US Cranial Specialty Award, etc. So we welcome you, ma'am, for the today's presentation to create awareness about the P&O professional for the sustainable development of the nation. And it is also requested to all the participants that if you have any question or doubt, you can ask the question through the chat box. The speaker, Swagatika ma'am, will answer the question at the end of the session. Now it is over to you, ma'am. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Subhashish. Thank you, Director Sir. It's my privilege to be speaking to all of you on such a day when we are celebrating the International Prosthetic and Orthotic Day. As rightly said by Mr. Subhashish, it's the third time we are celebrating this day all over the world. And in India, it is the third time we are celebrating on such a grandeur conditions. So I believe the audience whom I'm addressing consists of a mix of prosthetics, orthotics, and other fields as well. So I will go with the basics that I would like to highlight why the field of rehabilitation is in the field. So coming to this, if we go, the next thing that I would like to say is that, as we all know, the WHO is the main body which has always been saying about the different types of conditions for people, where the disability over here has been represented as the condition of a person or a patient who is not able to come to the normal condition as a natural person in conditions which is debarring him, maybe environmentally, maybe personally, maybe physically. So that's why WHO has described this as a barrier to the ability of a person. The disability words is a bifurcation of two words, which says disability means to stop, to disturb the ability of a person for all his professional work or his personal work. So they are described in three parts, which is impairment, which is activity limitation, and third one is the participation restrictions. These are clearly stated in different ways. If we say impairment, as we all know, impairment means there is a loss of function or structure that leads to the condition of a person where the person is not able to use his body, his memory, his vision, or any part of the body as a nerve functionality or motor functionality. That leads to impairment. Activity limitation, obviously, the person is not able to walk. So he is not able to go for any activity, like he is not able to go to office, he is not able to walk outside the house. That's a limitation of the activity. So impairment is the condition with the human body. Activity limitation is what we see on a person's condition when he's in the society. And what happens the next is the participation is restricted in that condition. So the patient is not able to go to the normal society. While us, all human beings, need a society, because we are human beings who are societal in nature. For us, ourselves means to be a part of the society, be a part of their normal daily activities, meeting our neighbors, talking to them, celebrating religious festivals, going for a picnic, all these. So if a person is not allowed or is debarred for doing all these things, so that also ends up in condition which is called participation restrictions or some kind of a disability. Now, why we are talking all about these things? It is a small thing, leave it. No, it's about only 16% of the global population is affected. But how much is of 16% of the global population? It's about 1.3 billion people that we are talking. So when we are talking about a 1.3 billion, it's a huge amount. And that responsibility comes on the professionals to bring them to the mainstream. So there where we stand as a 2011 census for India only, it is a 2.21% of the total population. Again, 2.21%. But do you see how much it is? It is 2.68 crore. So if we see the productivity of India and we just speak about the 2.68 crore people coming back to the mainstream and providing us better development of the country, there where we stand when we speak about these words, these things that we are bringing them back to the mainstream, bringing them to the back conditions. So these mainly intentionally the discussion of today is to create awareness of among all the people, all the fraternity, that the Department of Prosthetics and Orthotics, the Department of Rehabilitation is working for this 2.68 crore people who need to come back to the society, who need to be a part of the society to help in the building nation. We need them as an asset, not a liability. And the conversion from liability to asset is where the rehabilitation team stands to deliver the best of its condition. Again, coming to a little bifurcation, it's not about any gender that we are talking. If you see the slide, it is already 56% of the total is male, while 44% is female. So it is not only one type of structure that we are talking, it is equally distributed in the society with male and female gender wise also. Now coming to the next condition, the disability that we are seeing all across India. I'm going ahead with the Indian data because we are talking in our context today. So in 2011, when we see this small pie chart, as you can see the color variations, about 20% is the basic condition, which is movement. Movement means locomotor disability, where prosthetics and orthotics people are the majority workers in that. So as prosthetists and orthotists, we justify this 20% of the disability condition, which we need to provide the best of the opportunity to make them locomotor free condition and come back to the scene. Maybe it can be a wheelchair, maybe it a prosthesis, maybe it an orthosis, maybe a small thing like an insole on a regular day basis to bring back a person who has heel pain to his office. So in this condition, we stand where to bring this part of the society back to mainstream to get the maximum benefit of their working along with their mental health as well. Now this I have summarized total, so I am not getting into the details of this as discussed earlier. Only the last line I would like to show that 20% of this locomotor disability which I showed in the previous slide is equal to 61 lakh again. So that's why we are talking about the amount of people in this condition, and this is the census of 2011. The next census might be a higher variety that we can see. And this conditions or the determining people or the disability condition, it is not only in one area, it is equally in the vertical section, in the horizontal section. As seen in the vertical section, we could see that it is affecting both the genders. Similarly, if you see in the horizontal section with the age barrier, from 10 to 19 years, it is 17%, which is 46.2 lakhs. While 20 to 29, it is about 16% again, which is about 41.9 lakhs. So we are talking about people who can come back to the nation and help us in getting more things in lakhs, not even thousands. So just a brief, what is the meaning of prosthesis and orthosis? I believe all of us know, but still I will go ahead. And my request is that the words mean a lot. So prosthetics itself is actually the development and the study. So it's an allied health specialty that focuses on the design, development, and the application of the artificial limb. Artificial limb can be anything that was a part of your body and missed out due to some or the other condition, maybe a trauma, maybe a disease, maybe a congenital condition, and the artificial device which we are going to put for the person to make him fully functional with the utilization of that is called prosthesis. So prosthesis is the part, prosthetics is the study, and prosthetist is us who are working in this field. I understand this is a little bit of confusing for the other fraternity, but my request is that kindly we are called prosthetist and orthotist. So please pay a little bit of attention to the terminology for us. So we are called prosthetist and orthotist, and these are the different areas where we are working, and this is the terminology we do use. Now coming to the second, orthosis, the one you can see, orthosis as basically whichever bone or whichever bone of your body is available, but in the normal condition, it is not helping you out. It is, you are facing some problem. You are not able to go back to your job, maybe a heel pain, maybe a calf pain, maybe you can have a knee pain, which goes up to the hip and your spinal in your hand. But everything which has a bone and is not able to help you out, and the correction is required by the application of different forces, which we utilize by biomechanics, is called an orthotics. So this is the study. It's again an allied health specialty where we master ourselves with the basic studies in medical, like anatomy and physiology, to have a complete understanding of the human body. Basing on that, we add on to the engineering subjects of applied mechanics and strength of materials to understand the biomechanical aspect of that. So together we make the structures with their biomechanics, that is all the mechanical structures, all the mechanical forces acting around the human body, to provide the best of the condition and making the people with determination the best of the condition and back to the normal mainstream. So now coming to the next, how we are seeing this as a sustainable development. As we all know, SDG or Sustainable Developmental Goals has been given by World Health Organization. So there are 17 different goals which has been given as a sustainable developmental goals. For us, we basically would be working out around the third, which is called good health and well-being. Good health, health, good health. Health can be anything, like, okay, I'm healthy, I eat healthy, I go to office, I have a normal life, everything is fine. But do you seriously expect health and good health is the same? No. Good health means I do not suffer from any disease. I do not suffer from any pain. I do not have any mental block. I am able to express myself. Those things acquired help us in saying a good health. So if I'm coming every day to office, but I'm having a backache, if I'm coming every day to office, but I'm having a leg pain, I'm having a heel pain, so that is not good health. That is affecting my work culture. That is affecting my work in the office. If my productivity can be measured in a percentile and I can work on a normal day till 80%, 85, 90%, this pain in my leg will decrease it to 15% and 20%. I may not be giving my 100% output on the day when I'm having a headache. I may not be able to give my 100% when I'm having knee pain, when I'm having a heel pain. So these small things can be taken care of by orthosis. Maybe a small insole in the shoe, maybe a belt, maybe a good sleep. So rehabilitation is a part of this health which makes it a good health. So the well-being and good health are additional to a normal healthy human body. Healthy human body will come as the parameters which come in your physiology, like a blood test, maybe seeing you everything is fine with your hemoglobin count, with your calcium, but the pain and altered sleep will not provide a good health. So that also accounts for a good health. Now coming to this figure, which shows how should we talk about ensuring a healthy life and promoting well-being for all these people at different ages. It has been divided into many small structures, which I'm not going to talk about. But yes, one thing I would like to focus in this slide, if you can go to the left side and the last one, which states as out-of-pocket payments. A country like India, we have so many people suffering from different conditions, but still the health sector is not getting the attention that it should get. Neither each one of us has a insurance coverage so that we can have these conditions easily administered as cashless in any of the hospitals. So it's a high time for all of us who are in the socioeconomic strata with an education background where we understand that health is a part of a normal curriculum of our healthy living, and we should vouch upon for an insurance as a medical claim, maybe through the government or maybe through a personal condition or maybe through a hospital income. So please look into your own health and your own insurances, which covers everything. Now coming to the SDG health workforce. This is mostly related to all of us who are a part of the rehab team, who are a part of the rehabilitation for different sectors. I would like to address a few things which are highlighted in the next few slides. So as you see, policies are required that address issues related to work environment, well-being at the workplace, and decent work in order to improve retention, participation, motivation, and the sustainable supply of health workers in the right skills and geographic distribution. Why I have taken out this is that all of us have studied from different NIs, national institutes. All of us are working all across the country. But retention, retention is something which is needed at this point of time, because if we are not able to retain our professionals in our own organization, in our own country, for sure, a good professional will get ample of opportunity outside and that person will move out. So us as teachers, when we invest on our students, we should see how we can retain them in our context so that they give the best of their studies back to the society. Participation, all of us are in the society, but few only participate. Rest are side, passive, bystanders, audience. And how come this happens? It is when we get motivated. How do we get motivated? In today's world, if I work out on a materialistic thing, obviously it is the money that gives us everybody the motivation. How do we get the money? Money comes when we have an insurance sector coming in, which distributes the rights to the conditions of the persons and their right to choose the professional who is the best. So for these conditions, we need to see that we retain the best, we have their participation in the best, and we motivate them to be better in these conditions. Now, this slide can show you SDG 8, that is decent work and economic growth, which is a part of SDG and a curriculum and the development of SDG 3. So this again shows you that if you see in the European region, which I was saying, why do we need to retain our people is that if you see the European region in 2013, there was a decrease requirement of health workers, which was 12.7 million. And in today's, when we are approaching 2030, it is 16.8 million. So this increase in percentage of require of health workers is because their community is expanding in terms of health. They are now segregating health in terms of mental health. They are segregating into locomotor disability, visionary disability. They are having now areas which is demarcated as Parkinson's, as tremors, Alzheimer's. But we have coupled everything and kept it as one step. It's fine. But still, our health workforces is going brain drain. We are suffering now, where our nation is going to suffer in few years, and while we are doing better for the others. Why? Because our better students, our better professionals are preferring to work outside. So there comes the retention, which needs their participation and our motivation for them to work better. Now coming to this, if you see the third line, it is showing a clear instance where there is a likely a shortage of health workers and lack of skilled labor constraints in the job sector for health. So we need better policies in our profession. We need better investment to come in the education and job profession in our country, first of all, to hold them back. And this is completely a dynamic structure of the market where we need to hold them unless and until they fly away to other countries to give their best. Now I'm coming to the last two, SDG 16 and SDG 17. These are what are the SDG 3 that I discussed with health, and SDG 8 decently work. And in continuation of this, that I would like to show you that SDG 16 is a peace, justice, and strong institutions. Now, what do we mean by strong institutions? Strong institutions comes into action when students go to the institute to learn things. If we are giving them a base and making them strong and good oriented professionals, then they perform their activities as the best in it. I would not brag about this statement, but I would like to cite a small example from my own college. My students of the final year and interns were given a chance and exposure, and with the counterpart from Autobog who helped us in their internship, they got the best exposure for a month. They were ready to get all absorbed with those information, and they were ready to go after that abroad. So we did our best to sign an MOU with Malaysia, one of our counterparts companies. They went to Malaysia and they explored there the ability of themselves to work. After that, they have returned today, which is a great day for me on November 5th that they have come back to the college and they are bubbling with information. For them, they now are at a platform where they know national market, they know international market, they know what they can do. They are thinking that, yes, this thing can be developed, this thing we can do over here. So that's what means a strong institution. That's what means giving them the opportunity to explore whatever we can do, giving them the base to make themselves the best. So that's what I would like to highlight which I would like speaking about developing effective, accountable, and transparent institutions at all levels. Whichever institute in rehabilitation is there all across India should give a possible base for their students to come to the best at national and international level, and should they be able to understand what they are having in their hand and what they can do. So under such conditions, we are now talking about partnerships for good. If you have come across the new rules of NEP 2020, which states that India is now trying to become the Vishwaguru, where we are trying to get the countries from outside bring their own universities over here in India. Amity has started. The SRM has started. CMC Vellore is on its way. So we have got all external international units, international institutions having one offshore campus here in India in different medical facilities. There where we stand, and equally we are having our faculty exchange, our student exchange, and we are trying our best to incorporate those things as a part and parcel of our academic strategy planning. By this, what we are expecting is that we are having the sustainable, coherent, and effective policy actions, which is helping us across the finance, that is for the institute, education curriculum in 2 different countries, health conditions, the labor and foreign affairs in both the countries. By this all institutional things, by coordination of all these mechanisms and policies, it is becoming infiltration at both the activities, so that people are now able to understand the same parallel thing at across. I myself have been working in Dubai for 3 years as a professional, and before that, another 1 year. So in that context, I could see that what we have learned over here, it is a better feature over here. But the conditions and the patients we see in India and the hands-on that we get is not available anywhere in the whole world. To be honest, it is not available anywhere in the whole world. Why? Because in India, before any one of us gets the RCI-CRR number, we do patients from first year, second year, third year, fourth year. But across the country, unless and until you are a graduate with a registered health practitioner number, you are not allowed to touch a patient. They learn on MANIPUR. They learn on theories. They learn on VR visuality. They do not have patients in hand because it is against the insurance sector for them. So as Indians, we get the most opportunity to see the different types of cases which we have read in our books as live in front of us, and work out on our own prospects, on our own conditions. And as students, we try the best to use them. So coming now to the rehabilitation agenda. As we all know, 2030, we have a rehabilitation agenda, which has been very profound, and it is now being taken as the base and meet all the needs of the rehabilitation worldwide, and highlighting the importance of strengthening health systems to provide rehabilitation. Rehabilitation as such comes in between. One side is medical, the other side is monitoring. In between comes rehabilitation, where the medical side cannot do anything more, but we cannot go to the other side, jumping and skipping. So here comes the rehabilitation in different prospects, where we need to see how can we meet the needs of the people with determination to have a better life for them. For the importance of rehabilitation, if I say, then we can see that there are many conditions which have come across in rehabilitation. And here we are planning to have some importance of the rehabilitation program, which is reducing the burden cost. So the reducing the burden for the conditions of disability, for chronic conditions, how we are going to reduce the burden. This we can reduce the cost by reducing the medication, reducing the surgery, reducing the hospitalization, reducing the institutionalization. But for this, we need a hell lot of social workers, hell lot of health workers, a lot of prosthetists and orthotists, more of social workers, maybe more of psychologists to train them, to make them come out from the depression. So these all needs to be a teamwork where we can reduce the burden of rehabilitation and the cost involved in that. So now rehabilitation helps to minimize or slow down the disabling effects of chronic health conditions such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes. But how do we reduce the burden on a health worker? We reduce them by equipping patients with self-management strategy and the assistive products. so that they can address these things in a better manner and by reducing their movement or mobility to the condition or the status. So now if we go back to the structure, then we can understand that these things have been helping us in most of the condition. And the componentry of rehabilitation. Rehabilitation objectives over here includes prevention of the loss of function, slowing the rate of loss of function, improving or restoration the loss of function, and at the end, compensatory strategies. If we are not able to compensate for the loss of function, then what should we do? For example, there is a paraplegic patient. We would try our best that he should not go into that structure. But if he is a paraplegic, complete paraplegic, then we cannot restore his function, we cannot slow his function, or we cannot prevent his function. What we have to do? We have to compensate for his current condition in some or the other way. So compensation in this condition would be a wheelchair. Again, wheelchair becoming an assistive device, it can be a huge wheelchair where the patient has to shuffle from side to side to move. Or it can be a very sleek wheelchair with a appropriate wheeling condition so that it is easy for him, with a lower backrest so that he has a good maneuverability, with a better threshold conditions where the patient can go inside the organization, with a ramp where he can move up the office, a house where he can go inside without a threshold. So this is how we are going to do a compensatory strategy if we are not able to do anything in the loss of function, but we have to only compensate. So these are called compensatory strategies which can be worked out, and by the end of this, we have to try to increase the functionality of that patient. Now, I would just include the last one where I could say that how do we think that the SDG 3, that is the health or the well-being and good health, is basically addressing the nation upbuilding. The nation building in this condition is basically how we are bringing all the people together to improve the productivity of the fields, the people to the best of the nation. As I already discussed in the previous slides, SDG 3 or good health and well-being is not a single unit of sustainable development. It has a continuation into SDG 16, 17, 8 and others. So it is not a single unit that we are talking about, that is it's a good health and well-being, but it's an expanded format where we have everybody coming into it and providing the best of their own in the best formal condition, well condition, good mental health condition to build a proper nation. So my take-home message for everybody will be, as I'm talking from my department, I will just include my heading as prosthetist and arthropist. It can be rehab for everyone as well. So it helps in adding life to the persons who has been stuck up. So as I said, rehabilitation comes in between medical and mortuary. So we add life to such person's life. These years which he has to struggle to be alive can be a better life for him. And that can only come when we people start working on a better condition. And in these conditions, when we add more life to such years, they become more productive. They increase the quality of life and they increase the productivity of the nation. That's why rehabilitation stands between the medical and the other structure called mortuary. And we add those smile to these years of their living in this condition. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks. Over to Subhashish.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your session. We are happy that you joined the session and share your experience with us for the betterment of the prosthetic orthotic sector, ma'am. Anyone has any doubt or any question for our research person? You can ask, and also you can type in the chat box, please. I'm asking one again. If you have any question, you can type in the chat box. Our research person can answer all the questions. Ma'am, one question from the Chandni Pandey. Ma'am, upcoming scopes for the P&O professional in the coming years.
Hi, Chandni. Thank you for asking this question. In my final year, what I tell my students is that after first year and second year, when you understand the core subjects, you come to the main prosthetics and orthotics. So I would request every student who is a BPO student to kindly take 1 day, 2 day, or a month in the third year and fourth year to decide what exactly is your area which you want to work. Few people are good at academics, few people are good at technical skills, few people want both of the two things. So in the fourth year, you should be clear about what exactly is your thought process. Both of the ways, there are a long chain of things that can be done. Basically, with respect to if you are planning to academics, then you have masters, then you have PhD. Fingers crossed, we can maybe starting a postdoc very soon as well. So there are many things in this line. But if you want to be in the core structure of clinical, then you have many fellowships which are abroad currently. We are trying to introduce a few under our university in near future as well, which will help the clinicians. We are not very keen into getting into the academic section, but would like to upgrade them and have some speciality in the field. Because as you know, still in India, we have MPO, that is Masters in Prosthetics and Orthotics. We have not yet specialized into Masters in Prosthetics or Orthotics or Pedorthics like abroad. So coming in the future year, you can have better options in either conditions, but you should be sure what exactly is your requirement and how do you want to do it. That gives you clarity about your workload and how you should proceed. And better you should do it in the fourth year so that in final year and post that you do not waste your time shuffling and thinking, but you act on whatever is required. I hope I'm able to make my point clear and answer your question properly. If anything else, let me know.
Ma'am, one question from Chinmay Das. Ma'am, can special BEd apply for primary teacher recruitment?
Special education and primary teacher recruitment, all these are with respect to the policies made by the government for different sectors. You have to personally check which area you are talking. Maybe with respect to special education, you can be a special educator in one of the school, but I'm not sure about the primary teacher with this because primary teacher has a ECEE qualification for the same. So that will be specific for the institute as well as the curriculum because there are different curriculums. If I know if you have gone through that or not, there is CBSE, ICSE, IGSE. So those curriculum have specific inclusions in each areas. So you need to check with which area you are talking and how to go about it. Two questions are there.
Ma'am, there is a two question there are. What is the expansion of ISPO? And ma'am, one question from my, how we can keep safe future of our young P&O generation, especially those who are pursuing BPO degree? From Partha Sarathi Swai. मैम यार आपके साउंड नहीं आ रही है.
Subhashish, I'm not getting Partha's question in there.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the question is, what is the expansion of ISPO? Means the full form.
ISPO, International Society of Prosthetics and Orthotics.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, I think, ma'am, the hope all the participants can uh, solve their doubts. And also, ma'am, there is a question. Are P&O professionals from India are eligible to work abroad, Middle East and Europe?
With our BPO, Bachelor in Prosthetics and Orthotics, with a new curriculum which is 4.5 years, the structure is as such that every country has its own licensing. Across India, we are registered with RCI, so we can practice in any part of the country. Similar, every country outside has its own licensing structure. Like for Dubai, it has a 2 years post your BPO to apply for Dubai Health Authority or Department of Health. Similarly, for all GCC countries, you have to be licensed to get a professional cadre, You can work as a product specialist, you can work as a marketing manager, but if you want a prosthetist and orthotist license number, you have to go through their exam, which is for Dubai after 2 years. It is not before 2 years. Similar manner for Europe, you have to qualify their VCOPE, which is their board exam for certification of prosthetics and orthotics eligible candidates. So each country or each area has its own license exam to qualify you to be a professional and earn a degree there. So you have to get the license, then only you can practice there as a professional. Before that, you can practice, but it will not be considered as your professional degree or your license or your experience in that. And coming back to Partha's question regarding how can we safeguard the future of our BPO students, first, we need to see that our students are rooted to the department. They should be well understanding the department. They should be well aware of what exactly they are. If a student coming out in the internship area tells me that I don't want to put my hands in POP, it's not my work, it's not my job, then I'm really sorry for that guy who doesn't understand what is being. Yes, you can do it on a 3D, you can scan, but bro, in that all condition, you need your hands to understand what is the condition of a fibula and a tibia on the patient's leg. Then only you can assess, you can think, you can understand, then modification can. You cannot be an engineer sitting on a sofa or on a chair and do a modification by yourself in the mind. You have to get into the workshop to understand what is a modification. The simultaneous simulation can be easily done on a 3D. That is okay. Second, when the students come out, they should be aware of where they are going to work. It should not happen that they should be thinking that we will come out, then we are going to work like this, in these conditions. No, everybody has to start the work at a very low level where we are going into the workshop like we were in students. And from there, we slowly go up. It can never be the reverse down. Third, whether the student is interested to continue in this subject. Fourth, which comes to government policies and others, we all need to stand up and work for an insurance sector where the terminology is coming from quackery, other one is working, this is not your area, this is not my area, all these will diminish. Because insurance will only pay when you are a certified person in your field to sign and give the thing to the patient. Without that, a medical legal case is done against you. That's why abroad we have so many clinics next to next, but there is no problem in having two clinics in the same place also. Because it's all based on your insurance, on your premium, on what exact pay you are giving to the premium, and which third party is the insurance claiming for you. So if we are not talking about fighting in between of two professionals, then it has to be a better professional condition, which will only come into existence with the insurance coming into this. I hope I have cleared what Partha wanted to ask. If I'm wrong or if I am missing out anything, please tell me.
Ma'am, I think all the participants get their answers. Now we go for the next session, next thing. And in the vote of thanks, thank you all the participants to be a part of this webinar session. Hope everyone have upgraded their knowledge about the prosthetic orthotic field. And special thanks to Dr. Swagatika ma'am as a resource person who share her knowledge with us. And thanks to the RCA to give us chance to organize this event on the occasion of International Prosthetic Orthotics Day. Now, please wait for the question and answer session. RCA, ma'am, RCA is a hello, ma'am from RCA.
Yes, sir.
Sir, now you can start the question and answer session. All
Okay,
the
sir.
from our side, all things are completed, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so participants, now we'll move to the question answer session. For that, I will on Slido. And when I will on Slido, you all receive a link on your screen. You just have to click on that link and you will join on Slido. But before that, make sure you register yourself on the RCI website for the webinar. Then only you get eligible for the CRE points. If you did not register on the website and you are attending the webinar and you will participate in question answer session, and you will score 70% or more than 70%, still those points will not credited on your portal. So make sure first complete your registration on the RCI website, then on the WebEx, then you have to attend the webinar. Okay, now I just launched the Slido. Now a link will appear on your screen. Just click on that link and you will join. I just launched the Slido. Now a link will appear on your screen. Click on that link and you will join. When all the participants will join on Slido, after that we will start sending the questions one by one. Okay, so total 128 participants are joined on Slido. Those who did not receive the link, they can see three dots on bottom of their screen. Click on three dots, go to the advanced option. In advance, you will see Slido. Click on Slido and you will join. Hello. Okay, we cannot send the link, so please go through the instructions. Those who did not receive the link, they can see a red color button on bottom of their screen. Click on uh, you can see a red color button on the bottom of your screen or left on the left side of that button. There are three dots. Click on three dots. Go to the advanced option. In advance, you will see Slido. Click on that and you will join. Okay, now we are going to start. Okay, now all participants can see their scores on the leaderboard. Who have scored 70% or more than 70% will get the CRE points. But those who did not score 70% will not get any CRE point for the webinar. Now I hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your support and guidance for the CRE. Now we are going to conclude the session. And thanks to the RCA for supporting us to organize this event. And RCA, sir, now you can end the session. Thank you, sir,
Okay, sir.
for
Thank
supporting
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.